friends, welcome back to Warhammer episode 12, Shield of Humanity. Look, it's a lot to say. I am your something eloquent,
downtrodden, and slightly reserved game player.
What was the line from Zero Punctuation? Everybody who's ever had a late night curry knows what a polymer is in a title.
Friends, we're here. We're back. I'm excited to get started playing. We've been playing Eco on a private RP server. If you join us on the Discord, you can join that. A lot of people having a lot of fun. Chat, remember to remind Big Spoon that I need leather hides. I think I bought furs from him and I don't need the furs, so now I have a bunch of furs sitting around. I feel like I'm a French-Canadian beaver trapper who suddenly has a lot of stock he doesn't need, because what I need is hides to make the seats for my steam trucks.
I see. It's nothing like the trapping life.
Yeah, that trapping life. What was the Netflix series that had
Frontier?
Yeah, oh man, that was good. What was that, 2 seasons?
How the fuck did you get that from? What was that Netflix series with the?
Because it was about the French Canadian trapper. There's literally only one series.
I actually quite enjoyed the show.
Yeah, it was great.
So I knew exactly where Arthur was going with that, because I was like, he's going to talk about Frontier. Here it comes. And then he went.
Am I the only person here who watched Cannibal the Musical?
Yes, you are.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker. That was glorious reference to trapping. That's all.
Yeah.
Very well. Solaris Knights will be out in about 2 weeks. Waiting for the Patreoners to bring their judgment down upon the series now that it's finished. We'll pick the final 6. It's like having the final 6 Cylons, except there are 6 of them. And
but they don't know that they're all Cylons.
Well, that was the point of the final 5. And at some point, my YouTube channel should recover from the fact that I'm not making any videos at any point. I assume Solaris Knights is going to give me the boost I desperately need, but don't currently have.
You realize, Arthur, you've created a Patreon within a Patreon. It's like Patreonception, where people sub to watch the show and then sub to the individual pilots to boost them up. So.
Look, James, I'm just that skilled. What can I say? The final note I have today is that my mom was like, how long is a PlayStation 5 game? Like 5 hours? What was that game? The Spider-Man game? I'm like, 5 hours? You think a PlayStation 5 game is 5 hours? What am I, made of money?
Wait, I don't get the context there.
That was literally, my mom was just like, I don't know, what is it good for? 5 hours? She's never played a video game in her entire life. You know. She thinks that video games are as long as a Netflix binge series, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, Call of Duty, that's probably good for about 5 hours for a campaign.
Wow. Okay. First off, if you're playing Call of Duty for the campaign, I think you done fucked up.
Call of Duty used to be about the campaign.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But I had this conversation with someone recently where they were saying like how Cyberpunk is like one of these sales records, and saying, and they say that single player games are dead. I'm like, yes, you can be a successful single player game if you spend 7 years developing something based off a 30-year IP, or you could just be Call of Duty and turn out the same game every single year and charge full price for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why you go to Call of Duty there. You can just say EA, FIFA, NFL, baseball. That's easy money right there. Sometimes they don't even change the textures. Sometimes you go to play the game and the advertisements in the background are for the previous gen of the game. It'll still say 2K19.
Literally the same game every year for about every professional sport. That's out.
All they have to do is scan in a few new guys and maybe update the stats roster. It takes no computer programming.
The problem isn't that they make these games. The problem is that people keep buying these games.
Yes.
Like, if people didn't buy those games anymore, they would be like, oh, okay, this isn't working anymore. Mm-hmm. We have to actually do our jobs now.
Well, you're the
problem.
Please don't point at the audience. It's rude.
But, here's the thing. People will boycott it, and then they'll and then, there was a fantastic image of people boycott EA games, and then like literally like
Pre-order.
everyone on the Steam list in the group is literally playing that fucking game. It's like, yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, there'll always be shills who cross the picket line.
Oh, please, James. Wow, we just we just entered a whole different conversation. So anyway, speaking of shills, I want to shill for Pondo the Mad.
Okay.
I wish I had something to shill for, but I understand he canceled his series on Sunday nights.
No, it's just on hiatus, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically canceled. I don't mean permanently canceled.
I've gotten tired of running D&D 5e for a little bit.
So I'm just saying, if you haven't checked it out, you can go to youtube.com/Pondo the Mad and check Hunters of Ulver and a D&D 5e game that tired Pondo out. Pondo, what are you doing when you weren't running that game? Because you're not running that game.
I've been binge playing Cyberpunk 2077, trying to finish it up. I'm like over 100 hours now, and did everything before doing the last mission. Before I even knew it was the last mission, I was like, all right, I'll continue the story a little bit. Like, are you sure you want to do this? This is the point of no return. Let me make sure everything else is done. And I did. And now the ending's taking longer than I'd like.
Did you install the mod where you can have sex with Keanu Reeves?
No, I thought that was weird.
Then you didn't do everything.
It got pulled. It got banned by CDPR.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought it was hilarious. It's like, why do they care so much about it? It's weird regardless, but...
It's like when Ellen Page got upset at the people who made Beyond Two Souls because people worked out like a rig where you could change the camera angle during the shower scene and see her naked. But they said, like, we never actually scanned her naked body. Like, we've just used stock pictures of someone naked and put her head on top. So, you know, what's she getting upset about? But she was pretty upset. So I should say, sorry, it's not Ellen Page anymore. Anyway, it's Ethan Page. Ethan,
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, was Keanu Reeves upset about it?
No, he didn't give a shit.
I don't know that Keanu Reeves has ever been angry in his entire life, except during that one baseball movie where they do the Big Papa scene and they sing Biggie songs the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he was angry when they killed his dog.
I haven't seen John Wick, so I can't comment on that.
Oh my god,
Arthur, really?
Yeah, really.
You gotta get on that, man. That's good, good movies.
That kind of reminds me of like the Australian actress who played Miranda in Mass Effect getting upset when like the entire internet just 100% sexualized the shit out of her models in that game.
Yeah.
Like literally, like you look for her like as a model now. Like, you know, like you Google her name. Like literal 3D porn shows up. Can you imagine how fucked that would be?
Oh my God. Man,
I couldn't even imagine that shit.
Yeah.
Nothing is sacred.
It's weird.
Nope.
Yeah, no. Right now I'm like on the last mission. I don't know why it's come a chore trying to do this mission because I don't think I found out I haven't unlocked all the. At least I don't think I unlocked all the endings that I could yet. So I imagine you have to beat the game once or twice to get the other ones.
Well, I mean, there's 4 endings, so
they're all accessible if you've done all the stuff in the game.
Oh shit! Well,
Pondo now is now going. Oh,
Pondo swimming under a bridge looking for a cache. Yeah.
So let me just ask you, did you call the Eldecados Rogue or Hanako?
Eldecados.
Okay, all right.
I thought about doing just a Hanako thing. It might be I just didn't get to the point where you could, but I don't really like you have to choose between doing it as V or doing it as Johnny. I'd like a mix of the two.
Can you just stop talking, please?
Yeah, I think you're about to spoil a lot for me.
Oh, okay.
Because now you're in the position where you're ahead of most of the people in this call.
Yeah, this is weird.
Even though he started after us, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll shut my mouth.
Like Pondo's getting all the time for gaming he can right now before he can no longer get any time for gaming.
Yeah,
exactly.
I got to appreciate that.
So like the couple of weeks before we announced it, I was just every week it was a continuous thing where Jay spoke about with Dave is like, "Don't worry, you'll find out soon. Don't worry, you're gonna find soon." I'm like, "Oh God."
I watched Dinner and Dungeon this week, and I was quite impressed with Cotton's confidence about her ability to.
I was like, we should probably take a break after 15 weeks. She's like, no, I'll be good, and I'm like, maybe, but
Connor can do it, so I surely can.
Yeah, I was like, yes, but Connor had been a father for years. I mean, you know, I have great confidence in Cotton, but I also feel like Cotton having a nervous breakdown would be very bad. So I would rather be safe than dead. That's what they always say.
We'll see. But there's still a few months ahead.
Yes.
Because we're also looking for a house in the meantime.
That's excellent. Congratulations.
You wait until nesting sets in.
Trying to get there.
James, why just calm down? You're gonna scare the boy.
That's basically the equivalent of a pillow fort gets made, and you have to deposit like sugary snacks at the door every day, or else you get in trouble.
That's me. That's been my couple weeks.
Okay, Big Spoon, what do you got?
Oh man. So I've been working on and helping. Not really helping. I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm just playing in it. But Eric's West Marches campaign, that's going to be taken off here pretty soon. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
That motherfucker's been trying to do a West Marches campaign for as long as I've known him.
Yeah, it's actually happening now though. We set up the Discord, and you know we've got I think about like 40 to 50ish people who have signed up and made characters, and like the first sessions are going to be starting I think next week. So
I can almost guarantee the following lines will be said by Eric more often than any other.
Okay.
All right. So what does your marching order look like?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Yep.
A lot.
What system is
and everyone's going to be like, oh, the same as last time. And Eric's going to be like,
and what was that
tell
again?
me it.
Exactly. So it's the Forbidden Lands from Free League Press.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's been talking about that.
It's a 2d6 system with sixes are successes, ones are failures. So pretty interesting. I like the mechanics a lot. Also, it is my 6-month Twitch subscription anniversary that I saw earlier today. So I've been subscribed for 6 months, but I've been watching, been a fan for a lot longer. So
there was a term we used to use.
Yes,
we can't say that word. They banned it on Twitch, man. I'm so glad I was talking at the same time.
Honestly, couldn't give a shit.
Was that twitch.tv/Henley? You know where to go.
Oh yeah. The crazy Bass is wondered what we thought of the Total War 3 trailer. I thought it looked awesome. I'm like, I loved the original Total War Warhammer game when it came out and 2. So I am.
Is that
really
the one that had the
3.
mini game mode where you can play as like one thing and you have to like survive in a tower or something?
No, I don't think
That's
so.
probably Vermintide.
Yeah, that was either Vermintide or Dawn of War.
It might have been Dawn of War, but
yeah,
it was a really old game. Played it when I was still in Australia, so this is circa 2008.
Yeah, that's probably Dawn of War.
Dawn of War was like 2005.
They had like a mini game, like a multiplayer thing where you'd like, the main game was RTS, but the mini game was like a hero control, and you'd like level up your hero.
And it was like basically like a horde mode kind of.
Yeah, and I played some Eldar girl. She had shields or something like that.
Yeah, so that would be the I forget what they called it, but yeah, it was basically like the last man standing version of Dawn of War 2. And you were just in like these arenas, and they just kept spawning enemies, and you would fight them. And
that was fun.
Yeah, that was a very fun mode. So
I have a Total Warhammer story for you, Big Spoon. I recently told it to Cotton.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I don't know, about a year ago, I gifted Pondo Total Warhammer. and I thought maybe we'd play a co-op campaign. And then a couple of weeks later, I hear Atomic and Pondo talking about how much fun they're having on their co-op game. And it happened on stream too. And you could just look at me. I was like, oh, I'm the Escobar meme right now.
Yeah, there was that. I saw the single tear at the time. There's a roll down your face.
You can actually find the moment when his heart breaks.
There it is.
Yeah, Cotton told me that, and she called me a bully for it.
Yeah, it wasn't bullying. I never actually said I wanted to play with you. I just assumed that it would be understood.
I'd feel more for you if the co-op campaigns were actually good.
I had a lot of fun with it back in the day when one was out and I was playing that one.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass sometimes.
It's super long for sure.
Yeah.
But you can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. I feel like if you want to play co-op, play one where there's not as many factions.
Or just play like Crusader Kings 3, where it's
look at you trying to...
everyone's in real time and you don't have to wait for your other people to take their turns.
Yeah. Sounds like you've never played what is it? Sid Meier's fucking
Civilization.
I
just want to listen. This is like this child here apparently was born before play by email was a thing. Big Spoon would be surprised to learn that people used to play chess by snail mail.
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually.
Send letters to each other, telegrams even.
Yep. I remember playing EGA Planets, where you had to put your stuff on a disc and post it to your friends to they could play the next turn.
Amazing.
Oh,
relics of the past.
Jesus, Spoon, you got anything else going on?
No, that's basically it.
Oh,
I remember playing fucking co-op games with a friend in single player mode because we didn't have two computers to play.
Oh, you have to do the hot seat?
Yeah. No, but it was like two people would join, supposedly you'd play over LAN and two people would play and then they'd do the thing. But we only had one computer, but we had two people. So...
Yeah. And my first LAN party was two computers hooked up with a printer cable so we could play Doom together.
Oh,
Very
God.
Nice. Very nice.
Unreal Tournament Doom, Unreal Tournament fucking LAN parties, dude. Oh, my God. My high school was so fucking... I had the nerdiest fucking friends in high school. Good God. Yeah.
What do you got going on, Dave?
Lots of stuff. So I'm signing a contract right now to bring over our sixth game for the year. But this was a publishing deal, not a developing deal. So we got that happening. We are putting together the next date for Pieces. That's a cosplay girl. She's pretty cool. I'm happy with how she turned out. That'll be ready on the 10th or the 11th of this month. So, we're just finalizing everything there. We had to scrap the old rig system in Eluda to bring in new rig because we were pushing it as hard as we could and it just wasn't giving us what we needed. So now we basically have a kind of military uniform for the succubus enemies in the game. So it's nice. It's nice working with an actual modeler who can actually make nice stuff. So that is going really well. We posted that on Twitter and everyone seems to fucking love it. So that's the most important thing. When you get feedback like that and it's super positive and everyone's like, yes, then you fucking hit on the right sort of thing that people like. So, and our games are doing really well on Steam. So if you don't know what wish lists are, I'm sure everyone knows what a wish list is, right? On Steam, you wish list games, everyone has a concept of that. So in order for Steam to notice your game and put it onto the homepage, you need to roughly have about 36,000 wish lists before you can launch a game, right? Or else Steam will just be like, there's not enough people who give a shit about your game, blah. So that's why you sometimes see people release a game and like everyone says it's a really good game, but no one's playing it or buying it. It's because they didn't get enough wish lists before they launched it. So the average rate at which you get wish lists is roughly about 30 to 40 a day, right? My new game, which is the Pokemon Snap game, is getting roughly about 180 to 240 wish lists a day, which is very good. It's like, you know, almost 5 times the normal amount of what you normally get on a wish list. So we should be technically ready for release within like a month. Or maybe even that, maybe like 2-3 months, which is really good considering we're going to be sitting on wishlist grinding for about 7 months. So we should be in a pretty good spot by the time that game comes out. So yeah, man, everything's going really good. And I don't know, played some Valheim. That game is, oh boy, that game is fun. We spawned the first boss in like 20 minutes before I joined this call, and yeah, that is a fun fucking game. It's like Vikings, Minecraft, and Terraria all mixed together. Like if anyone's played Terraria before, it's like you summon in bosses and then you fight them, and then you get like more rare gear from them, and it changes the world. And yeah, no, it's a good game. Very comfy. Like they have goals in the game, which is like, hey, if you want to get like cool XP bonuses and stuff like that, you have to have like a really comfy house so your Viking boy feels good about waking up in his Viking bed every morning. Like it's comfy. It's quite a little comfy game. I do like it. And if anyone's like me and they really like the sort of Ark survival evolve kind of game where like it's a big world and you sort of interact with it, this game is more PvE focused. So like, you know, you'll be building a hut and then you'll have like waves of enemies just sort of roll up and try and get at you and stuff like that. It's good. It's really, really good. Good weather system. Game looks great. It's like PS2 and high res. It's so weird. It's great looking game. I don't know how to describe it other than just like, it's functionally like strange, but then when you look at it like really closely, it's like kind of beautiful in a weird way. So anyway, that's me. Thanks for listening. That's my TED Talk.
I'm Dark James.
Hello. Yeah, I had a pretty busy week. Had some major stuff happen at work that I probably shouldn't go to a live stream because I work for a public listed company and it could affect share price. But yeah, interesting stuff there. What else have been playing? More Asgard's Wrath on my Oculus. Although I managed to get the
just give me a sec, James. I'm investing right now.
I didn't say which way it pushed the share price.
That's okay. Everyone knows that if you short something, you make a lot of money, right?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, printing money, right? When it's short.
Yeah, that's it. I got my headset going with Star Wars Squadrons as well, and I
how disappointing is that it's not like joystick in VR stuff?
It didn't bother me so much. I bought a gamepad for my computer so I could play it with the computer without worrying about trying to mouse and keyboard it with the headset on, and I found it pretty. I mean, like it's one of those things where I've been playing Xbox long enough that when it says press A, B, X, or Y, my finger can go straight to that button. Whereas when I play PlayStation these days, you know, especially on like games that have quick time events,
I've had the same controller for like 20 years now. It's coming me forever. You know, like it kind of reminds me of like, oh, how do you know people who grew up in the 90s? Because I have a fucking Sidewinder in there.
Oh yeah. I've got one right up on myself actually. Yes, Sidewinder 2.
Oh my god, yeah.
But what else? I also downloaded yesterday Werewolf: The Apocalypse Earthblood.
Oh my god, I heard that game was hot garbage.
So I read a review of it first, and the review criticized two things and I completely agree with this. The first one is that the character models display zero emotion. So they've got like really good like voice acting with like really, really emotive things, but like the characters look like they're cardboard cutouts just reciting, very emotive.
I heard that the voice acting were very monotone as well. Like
I didn't mind the voice acting. It was fine.
Okay.
But the other thing is that it's very much targeted at people that are fans of the game. So it doesn't explain anything. It's like, this is Kahal, he's a Fianna Arum, without telling you what any of that actually means. Which for me, as a long-time fan of the games, I'm all over that. That's fine, no problem.
Is he Irish?
So the Irish one, although like, the character's Irish.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games where like every level is pretty much posted to you as like a stealth challenge where you've got to kill as many people as possible in stealth before you're discovered, and then when you get discovered, it's okay, fight everybody else at the same time. So the better you do in the stealth side of the game, the easier the not stealth side of the game is. But
then they completely like ignored all of the mythos that made it a more complicated game, though. Like, for example, transforming in front of mortals would drive them mentally insane.
Yeah, they took out the delirium as a concept, but I guess that you're only ever fighting in the game people who work for like Pentex Corporation derivatives, so you could sort of argue that they're all inured to the horror of werewolves somehow. They do sometimes. You occasionally hear people scream things like "This isn't real," but no, you're right. Guys with shotguns do just stand there and keep firing into you while you charge them as an 8-foot tall wolf man. Until you
also whenever there's it fundamentally breaks as a game too, because like it feels more like a coin operated game than anything, because you swing these enormous claws at these people and they don't even flinch and they just keep putting round after round into you. Like you could be right in their face and they're just like bang, 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 and he's still just swiping at him. Like it's a weird juxtapiposition of a game, I would say. But like, I mean,
it's one of those games. Like when I played Spider-Man, like the original. When I haven't played Miles Morales. When I played the original Spider-Man, it took me a while to sort of get around the concept that it wasn't just mash X to win. Like it wasn't just hit them as many times as you can. You've actually had to use things like combo attacks, and then certain people required certain. This game is very much mash X to win.
Did you ever play the Batman games?
Oh yeah. No, I really like the Arkham series. So, but look, I don't mind it. My only complaint was it's a full price game as well. It doesn't feel like a full price game, but it was a full price game. Yeah. But I will still keep playing through it because I'm enjoying the storyline. Because I'm well familiar with the setting and play. That's probably out of the White Wolf RPGs, Werewolf was the one that I played and ran the most. I
don't know. I'm waiting for a Geist the Sin Eaters game, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what I want the most out. There's a Wraith game coming out this year, and then also you've got Bloodlines 2 as well.
Really?
So,
what? Yeah, I haven't heard of the Wraith game.
Yeah, no, I'll find a link to it and send you the details for it. So that could be either really good or really poor.
Probably poor.
Yeah, we'll find out though.
Aeon of Ruin? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I just know there's a Wraith game coming out. That's not one of their multiple visual novel games. Other than that, I am off tonight for my birthday dinner. So right after the game, I'll be jumping in the car to go and hang out with my family for my birthday. So yeah, life continues. My birthday's actually on Tuesday, but it's just today was a convenient day to actually get together for it. So,
listen, just know that when I say happy birthday, I'm saying it the same way the hobbits say happy birthday to Bilbo and Frodo in the first Lord of the Rings. I know you're not 111sies, but not all of us can be.
Yeah. Is everybody done now?
Yeah, you're in charge, James.
So. Okay,
you're the game master. That's why we put you last.
Note the time?
I do need to note the time. I'll do that now.
Okay.
It's done.
All right. So previously on Rogue Trader Tide of Iron, Nero and Dawn are summoned to one of the Hand's food stores by Spitzo Sargon, where all but one of the work crew has been butchered. Examining the habitation berths of the work crew, they find the last member driven mad by bloodlust and daubing symbols of corn and blood on the walls of the ship. Consulting with the choir master, the group determines that a murder room has somehow followed them aboard after departing Finksworld and now threatens the ship. Entering the otherworldly murder room, the group confronts the demon Struzgeth Fleshflayer and ends its reign of terror in a hail of fire. Finally, the Hand of Calixis translates from the warp into the Culse system, emerging in a field of debris from a past void ship battle. Thought for the day. For a warrior, the only crime is cowardice. So, when we open, we've got a room full of people. Along with the four of you, there is also Talmains Parrington, the first officer of the ship, Bellator Hadaway, the master of etherics, Stein Bethor, the choir master, Roos Marnett, the master of Vox, Vincent Rosin, the Cardo artifacts, and Captain Bren of your mercenary guard.
Whoa, James.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to interrupt.
Yep.
I gotta ask. Is the frog Horatio with us? Vincent Rosen has a shoulder-mounted frog named Horatio.
The frog is on the Eternal Praetorian.
Yeah.
He's here with us. I just want to make sure that he's not discluded. We have a very strong frog demographic in the viewership.
I thought the frog was with the navigator on the other ship.
I thought the frog was with the Cardo artifacts. Am I wrong about this?
No, he's on the other ship.
Yeah. The Cardo artifacts is the one that
Araldius Mercator and his frog. All right. Okay. Look, I'm just trying to play to that frog demographic. The frog's not here. That's all we need to know. Okay, my bad. Please continue.
Sorry, we've just lost our frog listener base. No problem. Yeah. So on the table in front of everybody is some pulled together maps that sort of show this system, and somebody has like scattered bits of just junk to mark out the debris field, and there's a little model of the Hand of Calixis in the middle of the debris field.
Large number of D6s nearby as well, some rules charts.
And then someone's like drawn like a big white question mark on the map at the far edge of the system on the far side. And we pick up as the conversation is going back and forth about how best to approach the planet, how to make contact, what to do about the unknown signal coming from the Oort cloud.
All right.
Everybody's got their own...
Nero slams his fist down on the table and says, I insist that we embark on immediate stealth maneuvers to intercept that ship before we deliver the Tide of Iron. We need to be safe during landing sequence, and we need to deal with this ship as unawares as possible. Strong insistence.
Still gonna try to sneak to the planet. I highly doubt we can sneak up to their ship.
So the Master of Etherics sort of pushes his glasses back up as he's looking down at the map and looks over to Nero. I would say that the debris field is masking our ship from whatever sensors that contact may have. That will probably end when the Eternal Praetorian arrives. It's much too large a ship to be easily lost in this field. I would say that we could try and get it close enough to at least scan it, know what we're dealing with, but every step we take closer increases the risk that they pick us up.
I don't disagree, but we only get one shot at this, and if we enter the atmosphere, we pretty much give up our card there. And if we get attacked during landing, I think we can all agree that it's going to be a very bad time.
I agree with Master Bullet.
Wow.
I think...
Okay, thank you. Adrian, this guy flies ships for a living. Everyone, make sure you listen to what he has to say. He's also very smart and wise.
I think our best shot is to sneak up on this contact, see what we're dealing with, get more information, and decide from there whether to engage or not.
Are you fully confident, Adrian, that you can do so?
I am.
Okay, it's your head.
Very well, sir.
Don't fuck it up.
So at this point, Rosen cuts in. So Mistress Xantai is still recovering after the long warp journey from Abandoned Hope, but we have been able to make contact via Vox with the Eternal Praetorian. We believe they're about 5 days Terran Standard away from arriving here.
How long will it take us to arrive at the contact at stealth speeds? I believe we can use this debris field to our advantage and create a sort of rolling cloud.
Could be, depending on how circuitous a route we have to take, it could be 2 to 3 days to cross the system.
Plenty of time, and we can be back before they arrive. Don, you've been awfully quiet. You haven't insulted me once yet. Nero just pulls out a flask and drinks from it.
Well, what do you want me to say? This is not my area of expertise. If anything, reducing the amount of casualties would be great, only because I don't want to have to spend all evening and all night listening to the howlings of men. So that would be great.
The choir master chips at this point. I thought you should know that we haven't been able to sense any signal from the astropathic choir on Kolth. I don't know, but they wouldn't have had their own choir, but they would have still had Psych as a sign that we should have been able to reach by this point in time. Mind you, we have been keeping our mental communications low because the orcs do have some mastery of the warp.
Oh, yet another mystery in our path. You'd almost think that we were Imperial Inquisitors with all of the mysteries we solve.
Everyone laughs awkwardly.
Yes, good. That's exactly what Nero wants them to do. I think we're all in agreement that this ship is almost certainly orc in origin.
For sure. Yes, we are.
Then, as gunner of the ship, which is my actual job, I would recommend no quarter. They must be destroyed in their totality.
Agreed.
Allowing a greenskin to leave is inviting it to regrow upon whatever surface it can find.
All right, everyone seems to not in agreement.
Yeah, I mean, except for the captain, right?
Lord Captain,
and
yeah.
Nero is specifically not looking at the captain, looking nearby, threateningly and intimidatingly, like, I dare you. This is the one thing I'm good at, killing greenskins. I dare you to tell me we're not going to murder all of them.
We're just going to go look to see what they have. If we are going to fight them, or we have to fight them, we prefer to have the Eternal Praetorian with us.
Or at least as perhaps as a form of reinforcement. If it's going to take us 2-3 days to get over there, and they're 5 days behind us, if this turns out to be something that we can't handle, we can regroup with them when they transit out of the warp.
Indeed. The ship's not meant to take on other ships head on, despite what we've done in the past.
Nero hugs the table. He gets down on a knee and hugs the table and says, "Shh, don't listen to them. I know you can do it. You're designed to fight anybody."
Anyway.
He looks with a "how dare you" towards Adrian.
Like, as I was saying, the ship's not designed to take on many things head on.
Nero's like, shh, it's okay. I know.
And as for the orcs, they're designed to take things head first into other ships with their heads. I'm sorry, how they pronounce it, heads.
With your permission, Captain, I'll report to the bridge and get us underway.
Nero, perhaps you might be able to answer this question, but I don't know much about orcs. What exactly are we supposed to expect here?
Nero has his war scene flashbacks all in black and white. There's lots of shouting, lots of British voice acting. And he says, "If you've never seen it, Don, I can't explain it to you. It's total madness. There are Xenos filth that represent the worst of the galaxy. They're not as corrupt or evil or connivingly intelligent. They are simply stupid. They are the weaponization of stupidity.
It's a fairly accurate way to... It's accurate, but not quite the whole truth. They're a group of beings that have some strange way to manipulate the warp through large gatherings.
Stupidly. The color with which they paint things allows them to change its physical characteristics because they believe it to be so.
Yes. Like, if it's painted red, it means it goes faster.
That is what they believe, at least.
Exactly.
So the first officer chimes in here, turning to Dawn. Not to override the hyperbole of the other senior crew, but to answer your question, sister, they are large, hardy, prefer close-range combat, both on the ground and in space. Make use of technology to a degree, have things like aircraft, tanks, etc. An individual orc is, generally speaking, more than a match for an individual human, so success is usually found either in greater numbers or in greater technology.
I see.
It is only hyperbole if it is untrue, Mr. Parrington.
Parrington is correct, though.
Nero's gritting his teeth now.
No worries.
He has two hatreds regarding this situation. He's literally just like, I know this better than all of you.
Parrington stops to buff his rank badge, which is higher than yours.
I know it is. It's actually 2 levels higher than mine.
I just have knowledge of Xenos. That's all I got. Hadn't faced these guys yet, but I know of them. Anyway.
Wow, you're literally our Butterbar's lieutenant. You're like, yeah, I haven't faced them, but I learned about them in war college.
Yeah, I studied them in war
and you've got
college.
the grizzled veteran there that's like, you need to be ready for war, killing, and death. And you're just like, don't worry, I got this. I took a 101 class on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I got summer credits. All right, I leave to go to the bridge with Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bridge because that's my spot.
Yeah, well, and I imagine we're in like the ready room, which is basically like just outside the bridge.
Yeah, in the strategium, just outside the bridge. Yeah. All right, everybody goes back to their tasks.
Because it's Nero, he still rides the golf cart from one room to the next. Takes him longer to start it than it does to go.
It's like, what's the film, LA Story, where the guy gets his car to drive to his next door neighbor?
But how big's the door to the ready room? That's the question.
Well, it's got to be big enough for a Space Marine.
Marine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I can explain going anywhere in this thing
okay.
as long as I say the word Space Marine.
That's right, yeah.
If it's big enough for a Space Marine, it's big enough for the golf cart.
I'm just imagining a forklift now. Like he just sits in like the little tray and like the forklift comes and picks him up and just drives away with him. Like
he's the driver.
He's got strings to like steer.
No.
You know.
I don't think Nero's been palletized. So your objective then is to fly casual to try and get close to this thing. Okay, no worries.
Exactly.
I'd like to assist with my concealment skill.
Yeah, so give me your concealment roll first.
Okay.
Do I get any bonus from Adrian?
Well, you're giving a base 10, but I'm going to give you a plus 30 here because this is plus 10 base, plus 20 more for the debris field.
Okay.
Does it give plus 10
Nero rolls first. Nero rolls concealment first, and then you roll your... Yep.
Okay, so you won't get the plus 10. You'll get the plus 10 for pilot.
Sorry, did you say plus 30?
Plus 30.
Okay, I'm going to reroll. I didn't add any pluses.
Okay.
Surely I can't fail twice, right? There you go.
There
How
you go.
about 5.5?
It would have been hilarious.
Okay, so that will give you, Adrian, plus 50 on your pilot spacecraft test.
And plus 10 for me for telling him not to fuck it up.
So a plus 50 total?
Yep, plus 60 for because Pono's giving you as a 10 as well.
Okay.
So you're at the max. You're at the cap for bonuses.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
we
they
lost to Dave.
me.
Nope.
All right.
Because my normal concealment is a 30.
I know you were rolling
piloting.
you were rolling piloting spacecraft. Nero was doing the concealment. You were rolling the pilot spacecraft.
Oh, okay.
That's okay because you got
a totally different.
You got
roll.
a 37 on
37,
it, so he's probably still real good.
Yeah.
Under like 90 something.
I mean, you're
Exactly,
probably like what 130.
So with the bonuses that I would have gotten, I would have been like 130, 100.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
I literally have a 90 pilot spacecraft because I just picked up Hotshot Pilot last session.
Okay. So you forget where you are. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I get somebody to give me a crew skill roll plus the if a PC is operating the augers, you can. So it'd be an awareness test plus the ship's detection, or else you can use the crew's skill of 40 awareness.
My awareness is 50, so I can do it. Don's probably better, but Henry's not here. I don't remember if what Don has.
Yeah, she's got 60. Got 60. So I mean, I can roll. I can roll for Dawn if necessary. Ship's detection is 25. So sorry, Dave, I'm rolling dice for you. There we go. Look at that. 6 degrees success. Okay, so you come to the edge of the debris field because the debris field only sort of extends around the warp entry point from the coreward direction, and you reach the sort of the spinward edge of the debris field, and so it's only with the open space between here and the Orc cloud now, except for like a couple of planetary bodies. The augers fire up. You've managed to conceal yourself extremely well. You're picking up a very large vessel in the Orc cloud. It's at least heavy cruiser sized. Anyone that's got, I'll take either a Forbidden Law Xenos at plus 20 or a Common Law War at plus 0.
I have Forbidden Law Xenos, so
would you take an Imperial Navy Common Law?
Yeah, I'll give that at plus 10.
What about Common Lore Nero?
Just necessarily to quickly deal with children who are in the room.
Both children entered the room. All right. Well, I have Contemplate, which would apply to this. So 30. You barely got it, AP.
Listen, I'm dumb, so that was actually a really good roll for me. You may not know this, but Nero has really terrible stats, except for shooting.
You've explained this many times. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you understood that my roleplay was authentic.
So what did I miss?
2 successes, 1 failure.
So if my Contemplate doesn't account for this, it'd be 3.4, but if it does, it's 4.4.
Okay, no, I'd say it would not because effectively this is just what you know. Oh, I mean, I suppose you can contemplate to work out this stuff. In any case, it's enough that you guys can determine based upon the scans that you're probably looking at something called a kill cruiser, which is in Orc terms a very powerful vessel. They traditionally have extremely strong front armor, the sort of strong that it takes usually Imperial battleships to penetrate. But from the rear, their armor is almost half what it is from the front. Extremely hardy, lots and lots of weapons usually. They are effectively the peak when it comes to Orc ships, with the exception of like named special vessels and such. So if this is a kill cruiser, like it looks like the Orcs are showing, it would be more than a match for the Hand, probably even a tough match for the Hand and the Praetorian at the same time. It seems to be among multiple large asteroids. So the Orc cloud is made up of, to a degree, of lots of space debris in the edge of the solar orbit, and effectively it sort of it's holding a position close to a number of large asteroids. But you get no glean that it seems to have detected you at all.
I have a plan, Captain. It's brutal, it's cunning, it's cunningly brutal and brutally cunning.
Nero, you're speaking heresy there. Much like the orcs.
What? That's ridiculous.
You just said brutal and cunning, and cunningly brutal, brutally cunning.
Yes.
That's their whole shtick.
No, they're stupid. They're animals. They're barely capable of speech.
What's your plan, Nero?
We know that the rear armor is much weaker there, and we also know that these are stupid animals that will immediately move in a straight line. I believe we can remain hidden inside this debris field and have the Eternal Praetorium draw their attention. When they go past us, we will follow them from the rear, and when the moment comes, we will begin using our sniper cannons to engage them. We will disable them from behind, while the Eternal Praetorium is not even in engagement range. Simply a distraction. If they turn to face us, the Praetorian takes them from behind. Obviously, this would be much better if we had the Gilded Throne here with its torpedoes, but we have to do what we must with what we have. However, I suggest that you contact General Fidelis Olmacher of the 277th Janissaries, because, quite frankly, they should be informed that we could be going into a boarding engagement, and we are here to deliver the Tide of Iron.
Don't we also have like killer servitors?
Killbot servitors? I think those are on the Eternal Praetorium, sir.
Did we put them on there? I don't
Yes,
know
I turned towards the shadowy figure in the corner. He's talking.
There's no murder servitors on the hand, no.
That didn't
Okay,
sound
so
right.
we did
Yeah.
put them, because I know we got murder servitors from the Forge Worlds.
Let's look at the Eternal Praetorium and see if it has murder servitors.
Yeah, it's got Tenebrae Maze, Cargo Hold, Lighter Bay, Extended Supply. So the Tenebrae Maze helps with boarding actions.
I could have sworn we got killer servitor, or
Are you thinking of
Killbot.
Dawn's dog?
no.
Are you sure?
Yes, 'cause I'm pretty sure we got some from the Lathe Worlds. I guess I could be wrong.
I think they gave you murder service. In any case, you've got no space.
We don't
on the
have any
ship to
on
fit
this
that
ship, so it
as
doesn't
a
matter.
component.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Nero waves his hand in front of Dawn, who stopped moving, and goes, Captain, Space Poland seems to have struck again.
I suppose so. Well, can we send a message to the Eternal Praetorian notifying them of the plan
yeah,
without causing any attention to us?
So the Master of Etherics chimes in. I'll speak with the Choir Master, but we should be able to send simple, as long as we keep it short. We should be able to get short bursts out astropathically. Oh, sorry, short bursts through the Vox, and then we can reach them astropathic when they arrive.
We should code it in allegory, like an allegory of someone distracting a large opponent so someone could get behind it.
Darmak and Gelada to Nagra.
Why?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
My question is why?
Oh, when they create, and by they I mean me, plays about your brilliant strategic actions here, Lord Commodore, it should reflect your brilliance, and it should also be dramatic.
I'm just confused by the allegory part. Why do we need to see them in allegory?
Dramaticness, sir. If you utter lines like that, it will seem really good on stage, especially if you say it's based on a true story. We could even, if we do it dramatic enough, we could even say it's a recreation of real events with no fiction added.
Right. Can we glean what perhaps color the ship is?
It's purple, and as you look at it, it begins to fade into the distance. It suddenly appears behind you.
And then there was no kill cruiser there at all.
It was a hallucination that we all had.
No, you can't. You've got nowhere near visual range. You are several million kilometers away from it.
Dang.
Lord Commodore, this is the Master of Etherics again. Picking up energy activity on the surface of the planet. It looks like there's some sort of planetary void shield array in the Northern Hemisphere. There's an area of approximately 40 square kilometers covered by ground projected void shield.
What is the signature of that shield? Is it Imperium in nature? Check the phase sequence.
Okay. Let's roll for them.
Look, I know I'm making up words there, but not only is that how Star Trek works, that's how 90% of sci-fi works. So
It's indeterminate. It's the signal looks imperial, but it's also it's not right. There's something,
okay,
something wrong
give
with
me
the
your
signal.
best guess as to what the situation is.
Possibly damaged, imperial hardware damaged.
Could it be Severin dominant? A variant? Is it possible?
No way for us to tell, but I don't think the dominant would have had void shield technology, or at least planetary void shield technology.
Don't they have Imperial ships?
You got to realize that So I think the Severin dominant are primarily explorers, farmers, and the like who have rebelled and they formed a standing military. But while they have ships, they're not soldiers.
Yes, they're traders.
I think a more important question is what is it protecting?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Overlay the maps. Zoom in on that quadrant and enhance. Bring up the historical records.
No worries. You can see a reflection in one guy's eye of a word. So it's so on the maps, it looks like the void shields are covering the primary imperial, like the imperial army settlement on the planet.
Okay.
So it's in an area where they had ample access to food and water. The idea was that this planet was going to be used as a staging point to continue the battle against the dominant once they, after they rebelled.
Well,
any sort of Vox signals that we can pick up from down there?
So I'm just saying, it looks like Henley is without internet for some time. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we should probably call it. We're literally on the verge of entering combat, which is the thing Henley really likes to do.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, we could sort of push on to the break if you like, and it gives like 45 minutes just to set up the next sort of bit, but I don't mind either way.
Are we doing it on tabletop or are we doing it on Roll20?
Depend. I had so many options available to me. I couldn't set up either one, so I've got some stuff set up in Roll20. I tried to set up something on tabletop, but I could not find a map I was looking for. I knew I had it before, but I can't find it now. I actually had a map of like a ground-based void shield array.
So I think maybe we decide what, because like decide whether we're going to try and ambush this kill cruiser or go for the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nero turns to look at the Lord Captain.
So is there no like Vox signals or anything that we can pick up on?
Nothing's being sent out, but your ship, nor is your ship sent any at the moment.
Okay.
We send in a signal that says, don't stand so. Don't stand so close to me. We wait for a reply.
Yeah, I'd say let's.
You can Vox the planet if you want to, but I think that was people were scared that would alert the orcs last time. So
yeah.
Wow. So I think like Adrian kind of walks over on the bridge and stands next to Nero so they can have a quiet conversation. And he's like, your plan probably would work, but any mistake that we make means one of our ships is going to get destroyed. And if we are destroyed with the Tide of Iron on board, our mission is incomplete. And the entire the entire planet and campaign against the dominant is in danger.
I agree with all of that.
I think we should try and convince the Lord Commodore to make a run for the planet and deliver the the tide of iron, and
Okay, make a roll to convince Nero.
okay.
I'm just
Yeah, I know. We're gonna go. Hey, I think we should do this, Lord Comer. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
it's just like, all right, we should sneak over there to get a good look at the orcs, or what we assume is the orcs. I'd rather just try to sneak over there to the planet and try to drop off tide iron.
What sort of role would you like, Nero?
I mean, isn't there like a persuasion?
There is a charm fellowship.
I feel like this is definitely charm
Okay.
against my willpower of 40.
That is not going to go well.
Okay. Looks like it went pretty well. It looks like
wow.
it went 2 degrees of success well.
Holy shit! Yeah, I rolled a 10, I think.
Okay. That even beats his +10 hatred of orcs and +10 hatred of pirates. But just a little bit. So he breathes very deeply and looks around the bridge, sees that there's a internet disconnection sign over Don's head, sees a hole, but including, what's the first officer's name, Mr. Parrington?
Talmon's
Parrington.
Yep.
Sees Adrian, sees the Lord Captain, and realizes he's the only one opposing this, and that he takes a deep breath and says, all right, Adrian, I suppose you're right. We should do the job we came here to be paid for. I'm concerned that if we turn tail and run from the kill cruiser, it may leap at us during landing operations. But I'm sure you can fight it off in your gun cutter.
I would say that I would be able to outmaneuver it in the hand, but
Well, don't worry. I outgun it by myself. I'm not good. I'm just worried about their armor.
in any case, I think we need to think of the greater good of the Imperium.
He slumps down in his chair, takes a sip of water from his I Heart the God Emperor mug, and says, Adrian, the greater good of the Imperium is the only thing I'm thinking of. But if you say that one phrase one more time, I'm going to accuse you of being a Tau loyalist. He sips the water and says, humanity deserves to rule the stars. The God Emperor said so.
I couldn't agree more. And then he'll look over to the Lord Commodore and what are your orders, Lord Commodore? Are we making a run on the planet?
Oh, you mean the original plan that I had, that I had said that I wanted to do, but you were all gun-ho about going to see the ship that you serve as an orc, and we found out it's an orc. Now you want to go back? Yes, let's do that plan. That sounds like a great plan. Good idea, Adrian.
Very well, sir.
Your wisdom is prescient, sir. You are able to foresee what we need to do before we get there. How could we ever doubt you?
I don't know. I question that myself sometimes.
You question yourself, sir.
Never mind. Adrian, just get us moving.
All right, and then power forward, headed forward.
All right. No, I'm happy that you're
Praetorium that they should come in softly.
Okay. The degree of success you had before are great enough. I don't need you to roll again. You know, you're in the stealth zone right now. So, as you're nearing the planet, the Master of Etherics and the Master of the Vox sort of put their hands up. We're picking up a Vox carry signal. It's not in the same area as the Void Shield. It's about 300 miles to the south. Someone's got an active Vox link open. It's Imperial.
Very well. Send the following move. E4, E5.
Okay.
I'm joking. It's a reference. Don't worry about it.
B to C7.
BC4.
Yeah, they reply back, you suck my battleship.
Are they calling? Are they calling?
No,
us?
it's what it is. It's like an open receiver.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's-
it's like,
it's-
but it's broadcasting that it's open. It's like, you know, it's an open carrier. So
It's
You're on
like
mute,
a
Potter.
You're muted,
transponder
sir.
signal.
yeah,
Patch it in. I've been saying.
All right, yeah.
sorry, okay,
so
anyways, all right.
Nero's just like, sir, there's nothing on the line. It's an open line.
Okay, so you know, you effectively like ping the communication to there, and then on the screen comes up like a sketchy sort of, you know, scan lined out image of a confused looking person who says, "Hello."
Hello. Who are you?
Yes, who am I speaking with here?
I am Trenio Hessman of the Scintillan 17th. Who am I speaking with?
You want me to do the presentation, Captain, or do you want to do it?
Sure.
Is
have
this
fun.
just a guardsman who left his radio on?
What?
So Nero, Nero
it's obviously
marches
like
up.
if you, even though the screen is sketchy, you can see they're in some sort of like, you know, Vox chamber. They're in some sort of like, you know, made for purpose room. Yeah. But they look like this guy is like unshaven. You know, like his uniform is must. You know,
You stand before rogue trader Pierre Cowles, honored lineage of the Cowles dynasty, who comes bearing tides of iron.
you're Imperial.
Yes, we are.
Is there someone we can
Are you
speak to
not?
of higher rank?
He stands up, and like as he stands up, you see like he rips his headphones off his head and drops it on the table.
Yeah.
And he runs over to like the door of the room and opens up the door of the room, and you sort of like hear, you know, muted because the mic is still hot. You know him shouting like, "Hey, guys, there's more Imperial. There's reinforced. They're here." And you hear like, you know, muted cheers in the background of.
Must have been really dire.
Yeah. It's like just like sleeping, monitoring the radio, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "Hey, we're here to help."
Yeah. He comes back, and like you can sort of see like more soldiers into the room behind him, like wanting to see, is he just bullshitting us or is he actually telling the truth? And
Oh, Nero looks like he's going to kill all of them through the monitor. And he says, find someone who is in charge, or we're
Yes,
going to blow
please.
something up down there, and I'm not going to double check where I'm shooting.
all right, he sort of turns to him and says, "Go get the colonel," and then like two of them run off.
Nero rolls his eyes. He's like, a colonel. Well, it's not quite a lord colonel, but good enough to speak with you.
Right. He sort of sits there with the headset on, like looking at the monitor, waiting for the colonel to arrive.
So you get a lot of
nervously.
entertainment down there, Tranio.
Entertainment? No, just lots of walks.
Oh, good. That's my favorite. Nero says it really creepily, and he looks kind of like he can't wait to get down there and start personally butchering all of them. And then he says, I don't suppose they pay you regularly in Throne Gelt down there, do you?
I mean, we were told we'd get paid when we got back to Scintilla for the campaign.
Good, because you know you can write that off as credit. And we have a ship full of luxury goods, t-shirts, mugs, food, weapons, ammunition.
His face sort of falls now, and he's like, "Oh, so you're not reinforcements? You're a merchant."
Oh, don't worry.
Nero,
Yeah,
step away from the
Nero
box.
Nero just
Adrian,
looks
get him
around
away.
at all of the weapons around him, and I'm like, son, what do you think I am?
Adrian, get him away from the Vox.
This is a saleable material, sir.
I think we should wait for the colonel to send any more transmissions.
That's ridiculous. We need to get the lower ranks involved. They need to be enthusiastic about receiving these goods. Listen, Tranio Hessman, don't worry. We're going to solve your orc problem with a level of finality that will haunt you.
Good.
So not reassuring at all.
Adrian, would you please get him away from there?
So on the screen, you see another figure into the room. So it's a woman in guard uniform clearly Colonel by the markings. Her uniform has been better kept, but it's still like it's like imagine you've worn the same clothes or the same set of five outfits for like years.
Mhm.
You know, they become threadbare over time or such. You know, so it's a bit but effort has been made to maintain her equipment anyway. She has like a chainsaw on her hip, and she sort of like stares daggers at each of the men in the room and like chases off anyone who's not actually supposed to be in the room before sitting down at the Vox station. And she like cuts the audio feed for a second to turn to the other operator and like ask something before she turns back and turns the mic on again. Lord Commodore?
You speak to Lord Commodore Pierre Cowles.
I think at this point, Pierre just like steps down,
Like takes
Nero
away.
That's enough from you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Lord Commodore Pierre Cowles.
I'm Colonel Georgine Ostrom of the Centillan 17th Fusiliers. It's good to hear another Imperial voice.
Yes, I can imagine from what we saw. Imagine that man's been there for days, not hearing anything. Anyway, we come here to bring supplies and reinforcements, janissaries, and a big tank.
Thank God, Emperor, you've reinforced this. All right, we have lost our original position. We're functioning out of a bivouac. I can send you coordinates. We're about 260 miles north of the equator. I'll send you latitude and longitude details. We don't really have anything here that equates to a landing platform. The Orcs destroyed all of our Valkyries, so we had no need to build something here. You might have to. We can start clearing a section of the forest for you to bring shuttles down.
Yes, we're going to attempt to. There's currently an Orc vessel that's in the area that we're going to attempt to try to sneak your reinforcements past.
A vessel? We've got no real ground-based sensors here. I can't offer you any further advice. The Orcs on planet have captured our old base and are operating out of there.
Are they the ones underneath the void shield now?
Is it active? Then I mean, that's where the base was. Last I saw the void shield was down, but if it's active now, those savages must have found some way to reactivate it.
The situation seems far more dire than expected.
Nero just leans back in his chair.
We came here with 45,000 troops. Now we're just under 2,000. We've been waiting for reinforcements for nearly 8 years.
Damn. Luckily, it's arrived.
I'll send you these coordinates. We should meet when you're on the ground.
Excellent.
Colonel.
Yes?
Nero's going to pop back in.
Yeah.
What is the Orcish air cover looking like? You're saying that the Valkyries were destroyed. Was that in a ground-to-air engagement, or are we going to be looking at atmospheric interface?
We sent the Valkyries about 18 months ago to try and reclaim the base. They had installed some sort of anti-aircraft, shot our forces down, but they don't. I wouldn't say they have anything that would extend this far. Nor have they ever. I've never seen any Orc flyers. They just have ground-to-air defenses. Just don't overflow the base.
Well, Adrian, that makes you the most dangerous man on the planet.
So it would seem.
All right, Nero stands up and turns on the golf cart.
Okay.
He has Cade pick Dawn up as if she's like a cardboard cutout and load her in the back of the golf cart.
It's like Mark from the Gamers.
Yeah.
What's Dawn's battle cry again? Blood, death, and vengeance. All right, so what are you going to try and take down in the first run? They're going to take probably a couple of hours to clear out enough space for a couple of shuttles to land. Like, you can't offload everything in one go. Mm-hmm. So what are you taking down with you?
The Tide of Iron and the 277th, right?
But I mean, like that would take If they, with the space they can clear, that will take weeks to fully offload. Like it's going to take.
Aren't there only a few hundred of them?
Sorry,
I thought there were only a few hundred people.
I think it was a couple of thousand you were bringing.
Well, you're the game masters. You
yeah.
tell me.
And your shuttles only can carry about 30 people at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's big enough that it's going to require several trips probably.
Yeah.
Okay. I think bringing our contract is to deliver
first, right?
Tide of Iron. Yes.
We'll do the Tide of Iron and then
us and the gun cutter.
Us and the gun cutter, yeah.
With the Chimera, I believe, if we can bring it with us.
Yeah,
Which
well,
Tide Iron should be able to clear out the rest of the way by just running over there.
yeah, just running some trees over for sure.
Is there enough space to bring Dawn's group, her dog, and Captain Bran in this shuttle run?
So the gun cutter, if the landing bay, like if you clear out the cargo bay, you can probably fit about 40 people. I'm going to show you in the handout section.
Yeah, I saw that.
Gun cutter floor plan. Thank you very much to what's the name of the guy who created this? It's right at the bottom of the image. Luke Bartlegip and his wife. I just found it on Google. So, but that's a good show of what the inside of the gun cutter looks like. So,
because in the book it said it can hold up to 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but they'd be in that cargo bay down the bottom. Yeah. So.
Okay, but they're not the only shuttle we're bringing down, right? We're having shuttles bring down the Tide of Iron and whatever else we can drag.
So you have two types of basic shuttles and lifters on your ship. You've got shuttles, which normally carry crew plus 10, and you've got lifting platforms, which are like just a big, like think of, like Prometheus, the sort of flying platform in Prometheus, which has it like 4 operators and you fill it with stuff, but it's open to the void on the outside, so people can't ride on that to ride down. They have to ride in shuttles or in the gun cutter. So that's why you literally your shuttles are bringing down people like a squad or two at a time if they pile in. But the Tide of Iron can be brought down on a lifting platform. That's fine.
Okay.
But you could bring yourselves plus 30 odd people in the gun cutter
and a Chimera, our command Chimera in another lifter.
The Chimera would probably take the Chimera can go and lift it with the Tide of Iron. Yes.
All right. As long as we've got our good stuff down on the planet. Our premier.
Sounds like AP just wants to kill some orcs.
Oh my! Listen, I'm an Arch-Militant that was designed for a battlefield engagement, and we have rarely had that opportunity.
We're gonna have it here.
Nero is asleep in the co-pilot gunner seat by the time Adrian gets on board.
Yeah,
he's already he's personally customized the space. He's got his Pierre Cowles blanket down on the seat to keep his butt warm. It's got his coffee mug, a thermos, like a cooler nearby with like a selection of sandwiches inside. He just wants to make sure he's comfortable as they go down and start the killing.
As we make our gun runs.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a little Vox nearby with his K-pop songs.
As you find down, those of you that got it, give me common law war plus 20.
Oh, I don't got it.
Wow. A skill that I'm good at with a bonus that makes me good?
I don't remember.
What'd I get?
I did good.
I needed that bonus though.
With a what was
plus
the bonus?
20.
Plus 20.
20.
Would anything else apply, or just common war?
No, it's more of a tactical roll. I mean, I would have also taken Tactica Imperialis, but it's.
I'll spend a fate point and reroll,
okay.
Just so I'm not the only one who doesn't.
I have Tactical Imperialis.
There we go.
Okay, cool. So looking at the as you fly down to the planet, you can see that the majority of the landscape you're overflying is like rainforest. You can't imagine that the Tide of Iron is a particularly hardy thing, but it's one of those sort of things where every day it spends operating in this environment, it's going to require, 4 or 5 hours of maintenance just to sort of keep it operating. Mm-hmm. It's all going to be able to just drive through trees, but it's also going to be driving through like anything between about 3 and 12 foot deep swamp all the time as well. Not an ideal environment, but one it can still manage. it would just be hampered, as will the Chimera. The Chimera Chimeras themselves are a semi-amphibious vehicle, so they can certainly drive through water deep enough as the top of their hull, basically. You can put a engine snorkel on. They don't float, but they certainly can still be used in swamps. Anyway, they've got an area where they're on like a drier section of land where you can see they've sort of cleared off a large section. You've got temporary buildings. It looks like mainly sort of demountable, deployable Imperial Guard buildings. They've installed some defenses. It looks like they've probably been dug in here for a good length, maybe 2 to 3 years. They've been dug in this location, and you can see that over time, less and less of the base has been required as more and more of them have died. So they've sort of like closed off sections of the base. But they've got things like heavy bolter turrets up. And you can see where sections of the forest have been cleared to create kill boxes, where the ground itself is like a no man's land of raked earth from multiple attempts by the orcs to charge their lines. And places as well where the walls and fences have been hastily repaired after successful breaches. There's no room for them to bring the shuttles down inside the compound because every space is used. So they've created a space just outside the compound where they've felled some trees and made sure the earth is stable enough to handle the weight of the tide of iron. Well, actually, they probably don't know much about the tide. They're probably expecting a Lehman Russ or something. So
I said a big tank, not a regular tank. That's a hell of a sight because it's like 4 times bigger than a Lehman Russ, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could fit four, like from the top down, fit 4 inside its hull, basically, or 4 in the same space. Yeah. So it's twice as long, twice as wide.
As the landing sequence starts, Nero is finishing up with Adrian by saying, and so that's how Krista teams up with Zach to defeat Hexus. And did you know the producer of the musical score on that movie went on to create the Avengers theme song? So we know how that went down.
That is impressive.
Yeah, very Rainforest relevant.
Your knowledge is quite extensive.
Well, Cadia is a backwater, but we sometimes get good plays. Should that be flashing, Adrian? That light right there?
People are out like in force, celebrating, waving their arms in joy to see, reinforcements arriving, especially when they see this giant lifting platform come down with this tank on top of it as well. Now,
James, we're carrying a fuck ton of military equipment, right? Like we have a shit ton of guns.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
10,000.
I want to make sure that those are, with the Lord Captain's permission, those are here with us so that we can sell them to these people.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're probably down in the situation now where like 1 in every 2 lasguns has died, and so it's like the classic, when we charge in the battle, the man beside you dies, pick up his gun and keep firing.
Yes.
When the man with the rifle dies.
Just, have like a bonfire going up, just hold it over.
No, I mean, the guns themselves break down over time. So
that's fair.
Yeah, so as I'm climbing out of the cockpit, I turn to the Lord Captain and I say, I hope you're ready for some good sales pushes, Lord Captain, because...
Who am I selling to? The Colonel?
The Colonel.
Who has no money?
I'm sure she has plenty. She
has the authority to offer you... I'm sure she has the authority to offer you credit for these weapons that we can cash in on once we get back to
back to Scintilla at some point. These people will all get paid, theoretically. And we just need to step in and make that theoretical somewhat less theoretical.
I feel sorry for you two about your beliefs of how the situation is going to work out.
So Nero looks at Adrian and is like, we've actually served in the military. We know how this works.
There were many times on patrol when we would essentially commandeer supplies and write the merchant a IOU, as it were, and they would
be honored.
Cash it in back at
the Departamento.
Back at our post. Yeah.
Yep. Don't worry, sir. You can trust us. We're experts in how the military works. You can tell because we have a high level of common law war. Yes. See, here's my character sheet right here.
Pierre just looks still unimpressed, not convinced.
Okay. Nero picks up all of his guns and puts his helmet on and goes to find General Fidelis Olmacher.
Anyways, I'm just going to quickly give you a handout just so you know what it looks like. This is an image of the Scintillan Fusiliers uniform. So these are the men, although in most cases more
raggedy and run down.
Raggedy, exactly right there.
It's highly impractical.
I mean, for this battlefield, yeah, absolutely.
A man who only carries pistols wants to talk about impracticality?
I'm not a fighter. I'm a talker.
That's true.
Like at least they fix bayonets.
That's true.
I can't.
I feel like we need to have Sargon come down here and talk to them. Now this is how you jungle fight. This is a knife.
It's like, are these Catachan orcs? I'd be worried if these are Catachan orcs.
I don't think they allow orcs to live on Catachan.
No. I'm just speaking. It's like just in comparison. I was expecting these guys just be like, maybe not like Catachan lookalikes, but like Cadians that just ripped off their sleeves because it's just too high.
Listen, they don't send the regiments that should be fighting to the correct location. That makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you've brought the general down with you in this first delivery as well, yes?
Of course, to deliver the tank.
Yep, no worries.
As I approach him, I hold out an invoice for him to sign. General, welcome to Kolth. Can I please get your John Hancock on this invoice for one delivery of Tide of Iron?
Of course. He takes the data slate and looks over it. And he signs the data slate.
Okay. I nod and I give him a salute and I take it back from him.
Yep. You'll obviously ensure that all the men are brought to the surface as well.
We will bring them down as circumstances dictate. We will also be bringing weaponry with which to bargain with you and your Fusilier friends. I trust that you found the accommodations good and that your trip was a pleasant stay.
It was time spent in the void. It's pleasant, doesn't really enter into it, but what's important is we got here in the time frame required.
Understood. I assume then that you will not speak ill of us to any comrades and may recommend our services to any other officials in your position that may find need of transport.
How likely are you to refer the?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing to him right now, James.
Give us that 5-star review. Hit the like button.
I'm literally asking him to tell his other military brass friends.
That's it. I'll be on Yelp this afternoon, no problem. Of course, this is my report will include details about the excellent conveyance that you were provided. Please, if I don't see him, thank you, Lord Commodore.
I will make sure he comes your way. I don't turn and shout, Lord Commodore!
Specifically because you are now the highest.
Was like, he looked away and he was like, Adrian, where did Nero go? I can't trust him by himself.
What? Huh?
Lord Commodore!
Oh, jeez.
The general's leaving. I thought you might want to say goodbye, sir. We've known each other for so long. You know the rules, and so do I.
Pierre will head over.
Nero hands over the data slate indicating that we have completed the first of 2 tasks, which is the delivery of the Tide of Iron.
Yes.
Then he will gracefully exit the area, which is unusual for him.
The general looks to you, Lord Commodore. Once again, thank you for the work of you and your crew to bring us here. Seems that there's definitely problems on this planet, but hopefully with the addition of the Janissaries, this battle will be swayed in our favor, and we can finally get back to addressing the real problem here, being the dominant.
Indeed. And as active good faith that you might request my services in the future, I'll give you 5,000 las guns to replenish your troops for free. As this whole scenario I can see is going to be a long endeavor with the orcs and the local rebels.
I was thinking that hopefully you'll stay long enough to at least have a conversation with the colonel on the planet. You obviously have the only ship in the system and the only flyers. It would be good to work out whether there's any further aid that you might be able to offer at a cost, of course, in order to help us just at least understand the situation better here. Seems that
absolutely.
The men and women of this base have been pushed back here for some time and don't really know what's happening with the York encampment to the north.
Indeed. I'd love to.
I'll arrange to give me an hour or so, and I'll speak with the colonel, and then we will brief you and your senior crew and work out what the next steps might be.
Okay, I'll keep in touch with things going up in space and see how things are going. Right,
they go about their business. You guys watch as sort of work is done to unload the tide of iron.
Yep. I want to be clear.
I'm waiting.
As soon as Pierre turns, Nero drops from the deck above him to right in front of him and says, "Sir, I would love to get paid to kill a lot of orcs."
Oh, he's just totally gonna overlook that we just gave away 5,000 last guns for free.
Yeah, Nero doesn't care.
Yeah,
These are Imperial Guardsmen. You give them guns, they're going to use them.
that's what I was expecting.
All right, let me tell you something, Mr. Adrian Thorne.
Yes.
The other 5,000 go for triple rate. Now that they got the taste, now that they know what it's like to have working ammunition and armories,
The first one's
now
free.
we get them with transport costs, roaming data plan, supply and demand situation.
Yep.
So now that they're nice and ready to buy, that's how we recoup our losses.
It's an LMA. That's got maintenance agreement.
Yeah.
So the whole contract, anything. You didn't read the 5
clearly-
Pure
clearly didn't read-
right to repair.
That's right. The general clearly didn't read the EULA, so.
I also would love to get paid to shoot orcs out of my new gun cutter.
Because I love killing orcs. And I know you love killing orcs. We should kill orcs together. It's a good bonding moment. Don't you agree? And he turns to look at the cardboard cutout of Dawn that's standing nearby.
So an hour later, you guys find yourselves in like one of the demantle buildings of the camp, along with the general, the Tempesta Prime, Castro Torth, the colonel of the Fusiliers. They've got like a map out on the table that sort of shows what they know about the local environment. They've got like a top-down map of their base as well that they previously had, which is predominantly like a large base built around a central structure, which is the void shield array. So the idea would be that this planet was going to be converted into a staging point. So they were going to have a large spaceport built there. The void shield was put up first as a defense, but then they never got to finish the construction before the orcs attacked.
And then the orc finished it.
Well, the void shield was up before, but then
Okay.
I
just thought it'd be funny. I was like, all right, we're getting set up. We saw and got the void show set up. Orcs come in. Hi, I just need to do this.
No, it's more like somebody got into a fight in the control room, and so we're smashing their head into the controls, and it just hit the on button, and they went, "Oh, great!"
Okay.
Lord Commodore General, I will give you an appraisal over the last near decade as best I can. The Imperial Force has been on this planet now for roughly 83 years, overseeing the construction of the staging point for further Spinwood expansion and then eventually the conflict with the Severan Dominant. Orcs have always been a minor nuisance in this region of space, probably one of the reasons why the sector never expanded quite this far in the past. But we were always able to, for the most part, hold them off. About 10 years ago, a new orc leader appeared on the scene. I understand he calls himself Nosgit Grotstomper. He began launching asteroids filled with orcs at the planet, attempting to land ground forces that could then attack us around our void shield, since the void shield would protect us from any sort of bombardment from space by his ship. One of these groups of orcs were able to penetrate our defenses. They had trained some sort of commando orcs that brought down our early warning systems and resulted in mass casualties. We had to flee the base to allow anyone to survive. They seem to have taken over their sense and have been operating from that position. For some reason, even though they now control the void shield, the main orc force hasn't landed, and we've continued to have the occasional asteroid still shot at the planet. More orcs arriving. We've thinned the numbers as best we can, but as you can see, that's gone two ways. Hope would be to reclaim our base. Along now with the Tide of Iron, we could probably mount a strong ground-based attack. The issue is that we really don't know what we're going into there. We don't know how their forces are arrayed. We're hoping that you brought with you at least one hotshot pilot that could potentially outfly their air defenses, give us an idea of what we're dealing with, and help us from the air as we launch a ground attack.
Let me check my resumes real quick, see if I did.
Nero rolls his eyes at this grandstanding. It's such a Nero-ish move, so he's disappointed to see someone else doing it.
It's only cool when you do it.
Yes, actually, it's a brand new thing. This week, actually, I just got a hotshot pilot. Okay, Atrian now qualifies, it seems.
That is correct, Lord Commodore.
Don't get me wrong, this is risky. We lost an air wing, 6 Valkyries to their defenses. But I mean, I saw that ship of yours out there. That's no Valkyrie. What are you, son? Imperial Navy?
Yes, Battlefleet Calixis, formerly. Now House Cowles.
So I guess the question is, you're obviously not tied to us here. What would it take to get your aid in this?
Dollar signs appear in Nero's eyes.
Okay, hold on. So let me add a character. We're getting 5 wealth for doing this.
Yes.
We got 5 wealth for doing the tighter iron.
Yep.
Delivering it. Plus, is that
within 1 year?
One?
So that included with 4 plus your plus 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I would say maybe 3 wealth. I'm
going to lean over to the Lord Captain and indicate I'd like to speak to him away from everyone. With our crew. Yeah. You know how it goes in negotiations. We call ourselves away from the table.
Yeah, give me a moment to confer with my associates.
Yes.
Yep, no worries. You guys step aside.
But I look to the captain to see if he's okay with that. I give him the...
One moment. Please excuse us.
Lord Captain, I think we should do this one for free.
You want to do it for free?
Well, we actually did agree to do this part. We agreed as part of a speech that you made on board the ship, if you'll recall, that we would help them on the ground part of the mission. And it would be dishonorable not to follow through with that. But for a second thing, the general is no ordinary man. I believe he is a noble, correct? I don't know. I looked to the shadowy game master.
Sure.
You could obtain powerful favors from military brass, from the Colonel's family, the Ostroms, from the Olmachers.
I promise the ground combat would be for free. The ship up above is an issue.
Yes. I'm not denying any of that.
A deal with the kill cruiser?
That's what I'm speaking of.
That's not what they're asking you for, though. They're asking for engaging with the gun cutter in a mission to essentially go on reconnaissance.
I was also going to include the killer. The issue is that the killer cruiser is bringing orcs down to this place.
I don't disagree.
So we also need to take care of that.
I agree. Again, I strongly suggest we do it for free. We don't need to nickel and dime these people. We'll nickel and dime them with merchandise. We'll get the lower ranks. Don't worry about that part. I think that favors from people with this level of military power and nobility could be more valuable than any small change that we pick up.
So let me just go out of character a second, just to quickly give you an idea of something. So when you negotiate over profit, profit factor can take a number of different things, different shapes. So it's not just literally they'll give you cash. So, for example, you could do this, and I'm prepared to say this could be part of the negotiation. They will give you 1 profit plus your extra 1 for your hard bargain, which is 2. And that's represented as you're doing it for free, but effectively they're giving you like an honorary rank in the Fusiliers, or
yes, good.
Some other sort of like nebulous thing from which you can turn a profit, so to speak, without actually giving you funds, because at the end of the day they don't have funds here to give you.
Right.
That's what Nero
That's what
wants.
I said. Well, it's in
Honorary Colonel Cowles.
Yeah. Just add it to the title. Honorary Colonel of the 17th Fusiliers.
So at the end of this, I need to keep adding on to the names,
Of course.
and then once I've stopped, need to have Ivy numerically figure out what that means.
Sir, I just want to point out, I believe you would look very handsome in their uniforms, especially with a nice shiny rank badge.
You don't say I look handsome now.
No, I'm saying you will look more handsome in that particular uniform. Sir, your traditional ensemble looks very rakish, but there is something to be said about attracting the women with a military uniform. I want you to trust me on this one. He looks to Adrian like, am I right or am I right?
Mr. Bullet is correct.
That's Baron Bullet.
I'm sorry, my lord.
He's gotten real self-centered since he got the Baron title.
He pulls a sandwich out of his cooler and hands one to Adrian if he wants it, and then eats it himself like a piranha. Look, I'm a married man,
Well,
Lord Captain. I know what I'm talking about.
I would say Pierre would probably shoot for 2 wealth, not including the hard bargain. Not wealth. Profit factor. I'm thinking of Slayer's Knights with wealth. Profit factor. Not including the hard bargain.
Shooting for 2 and then 3 with hard bargain.
Yeah.
Right. Just kind of shrugs. As long as we get it in terms of favors rather than,
Yeah.
strangling them for cash. No, we'll get the lower ranks with the cash.
Yeah, so it's honorary general Pierre Cowles
of the Janissaries. His Holiness Pierre Cowles.
This is getting more convoluted.
All right, Nero's done with his suggestions. He made his point, and it sounds like we're going somewhere in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
If that is not to their liking, I would gladly negotiate for something a little bit better then.
We're done, James. We've come to a conclusion.
I think he's.
Sorry, I was muted. No worries. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm fine. They are fine with that. They will agree to that. So,
right,
just
so-
also, you can see what the Fusiliers office uniform looks like as well. I happen to have that handy too.
God,
Hey,
that's
all right. Oh wow.
that's
Yeah. There you
swung my
go.
eyes a little bit. That's really loud.
Oh man.
It's actually not that much of a change for you, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it.
I'm telling you, Lord Commodore, you're going to look amazing in this.
I see no difference.
The powdered wig comes with the uniform.
Oh, of course.
It
so itchy.
lends an air of distinction to any man who wears it.
Right. So as you agreed to this, and for one of a Dave, shall we do outros now
Yes.
and finish up early? I can get to my birthday party early.
Fantastic.
Arthur, why don't you go first?
Oh, thank you. I'll be preparing for tomorrow's Oath of Endosteel, where Big Spoon will be guessing. I've done no work on it so far beyond some theory crafting, so
I wonder why.
because I've been playing Eco full time, and every time I log in, everybody's like, "Hey, got that thing I need?" And I'm like, I don't know. Fuck. It's actually a lot of fun though. That's it. That's all I have. How about you, Pondo? What do you got?
Nothing at the moment. I've been trying to get Cyberpunk out of the way so I can focus on other stuff because for some reason I can't focus. So yeah, so once I get that done, I probably move on to, I don't know what. I have a couple things that I want to get done, but I don't know when. That's me. You can find me when Solaris Night comes out on YouTube in a couple of days. Or if you're a Patreon, you'd be able to see it already if it hasn't been put on private. Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
Spoon.
Hey, Big Spoon. You can find me over on Twitter at BigSpoon223 or on Arthur's Discord. I'm going to be in Oath of Endosteel tomorrow. I'm psyched. I'm super excited for that, man. I'm looking forward to it. And then, Solaris Nights when the third test wave comes out. Or you've already, if you're already a patron, you've already seen it. Or if you're not a patron, you can sign up and see it before everyone else. So
Thanks for that upsell.
You're welcome. You know I'm here to support the channel.
We can't say the words.
Mm-hmm. And I'll probably be playing Eco a little bit later tonight. I gotta go. What was it? Get you a bunch of fur hides.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You don't just have those lying around in large numbers.
Nah, not anymore. I used to. Whoever's our tailor keeps buying me out.
Oh, that would be we have two. It's Eternal and Lawson.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I enjoy this game. I'm disappointed that we haven't gotten to James's orc voice yet, but
I can't wait for him to have
coming.
I can't wait for him to have to say, "My name's Nosgate Grog Stomper."
So I'm the anticipation is killing me. I'm on the edge of my seat over here.
I mean, it's you're going to give me performance anxiety. I swear, like when we were doing the Wrath and Glory game that Arthur was running, like I spent like a week leading up to the first game practicing an accent for my Eldar, and then on the day I'm like, no, I can't do this, and then that was it, So I was able to recycle that accent on an Eldar in this game, but then you shot her in the back.
She just got absolutely demolished.
That's it, yeah.
I hate to tell you this, James, but the same thing is going to happen to all of your orcs.
Yeah, they are all also going to get demolished by Nero.
That's true, yeah.
We're going to live long enough for the cutscene, then they'll die.
Yeah, there you go. That's gonna,
they have plot immunity right up until the battle starts.
Yeah, the camera's going to pan behind Nero as the player controlled character, and then it's just going to be heavy bolter fire.
It's just going to be the Doom soundtrack.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So,
James, happy birthday.
I am Grimdark James. I will be back here on Thursday for some Cyberpunk 2020++, and again next on next Saturday for Wednesday or Thursday. It should be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Stupid bring a day ahead, and then I'll be back in on Saturday for Rogue Trader. I also am looking forward to Oath of Endosteel. I caught up with that, and it always comes out at a really convenient time, right as I'm leaving for work, so I can listen to it in the car on the way to work on my Monday morning, which is pretty handy. Other than that, find me on Arthur's Discord. I occasionally post there. Otherwise, find me elsewhere on the internet. I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting some pretty hefty. I've created so many different enemy sheets for different types of. Like I didn't know how and when you were going to fight the orcs necessarily. Would it be on the ship? Would it be on the planet?
Let's just get them all, James. Why stop in any one location?
Let's just let's just say there's a reason they had to give you floor plans for your gun cutter.
I can't wait for this tour de force of orc killing.
But I wanted to mix up though, so I've got everything. I've got knobs, I've got boys, I've got grots, I got all sorts of
Be sure and shoot any suspicious barrels.
So are we going to try to do mass combat on using the stuff for Rogue Trader?
The mob rules from
hordes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, hordes are a good way to make Nero very useful without necessarily just instantly wiping everything out in one shot for everybody else. So
that's sounds working.
Heavy bolters with not so much. Well, metal storm rounds are the better. Organized with heavy bolters and metal storm rounds absolutely destroy hordes. So
I don't think I have access to that. Isn't that Death Watch only?
Yes. There's plenty of stuff you've got that you shouldn't have.
Your organ grinders, your blessed bolts.
Yeah.
What's those left?
What's that Death Watch tome you keep referring back to? You've got
Xenos Maleficum. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Well, hey, I was gifted that by an Inquisitor. Okay, that's legit. All right, you know how it is with books. You have to gift them. You can't borrow them.
So doesn't the ammo replenish, or are you just playing that specifically as once you're out of those?
I don't think this replenishes it.
The organ grind rounds replenish because you acquired those.
The blessed bolts.
The blessed bolts. No, they were
50 left.
Yeah.
Sometimes he looks down and he pats the ammo pouch where
the
bottom of the magazine has 10 less in them.
I mean, think around 50 rounds is like more than a pouch, of heavy bolter rounds. It's like,
that's a big
you said it came in a heavy bolter magazine, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's probably one big magazine in one of the things you use to carry babies, Bjorns.
Yeah. Let me get this straight. Nero has 50 miniature rocket strapped to his chest.
Listen, if I ever take a hit that requires an ammunition explosion, you're going to be collecting parts of him out of the sun.
The question is, can you burn a fate point to
survive? Yes, but I also reduce critical damage by half whenever I enter the death zone, which makes it way less likely I'll explode.
Thank you to True Grit. Yeah, you're more likely to lose limbs first. He'll probably be out of combat before he's that far down the chart anyway. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much XP do we get?
Oh, sorry, it's the 300 XP.
Good,
I'm that sort of nice gym which doesn't reduce XP for reduced playtime.
So that'll.
I know it's nobody's fault.
1700 for the next rank.
Yes, if we spent everything we had, we would be at the next rank.
Oh, exciting!
I might take Deadeye shots so that I can.
Is that rank 5 now? You're up to?
It would be rank 5. Yeah.
All right, I am taking Deadeye shot. I can now snipe with the missile launcher and try to hit people in the head with a missile.
I'm not sure how that works out, but sure.
I think we're about to find out. I think Mr. Nosget Crunk Bucket is about to find out what happens when you get shot in the head with a missile.
They're gonna start calling him Nosget Missile Mouth.
They're not gonna call him anything because they'll all be dead.
It'd be like when the Hulk, eats the bullet and spits it out. So.
I'd point out he loses that fight in the end.
I'm just saying, there's always that minute chance that could happen, just because it's orcs. All right.
Don't worry, I have more than one shot.
And he's not throwing any of them away.
Oh my god, that's it. We're done for the night. Hamilton out of nowhere?